All right, Tetron Invest here with today's GME update. GameStop, can't stop, won't stop. It's my favorite stock, let's just be honest. First of all, this isn't financial advice. I'm just giving you my personal thoughts and opinions. Well, let's get right into it. Last week, action-packed week. What did we really see last week? It really seemed like the focus was slowing down the momentum and slowing FOMO, preventing fear of missing out from occurring in Wall Street bets and just across social media as a whole, as we saw similar to January 2021. Because as we saw, as they call it, the January sneeze, it was a very difficult time for the shorting hedge funds and it put them in a major pickle, right? But think about that why. Think about the why. Why try so hard to prevent FOMO coming in? Why prevent such a run-up? Why does the stock bounce off $200 twice last week? And then when you look at the previous run-up from November, it was like, what, 230, 240? Like the previous run-up from June, we ran till like, what, like 300 something? And then prior to that, the January sneeze, we were in the 400s before it was chaotic, before it got to be absolutely chaotic and wipe hedge funds out, right? So what we're kind of seeing, or I'm seeing at least, is like that price it can max out on is coming down as they keep shorting it and being incredibly aggressive in keeping the downward pressure on, as many individuals like myself continue to buy HODL and DRS. I mean, it just, look at the big picture. Now, we saw what happened when they put the price down below 100, right? They short, bad market conditions, this and that, FUD, blah, 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 below 100 a share, right? The DRSing was escalating. The lower the price goes, the more people like me buy shares. So if they put the price too low, that's too many shares being registered to Computershare, right? Not good for shorting hedge funds, because those shares can't be shorted and they're registered in your name, and that's the individual, that's you, not your broker. It's not Fidelity for the benefit of Tetron Invest. It's registered to Tetron Invest. I mean, obviously my first and last name is not Tetron Invest, but you get what I'm saying here. Now think about it like this. If it goes up, 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 you let it go up, up, up. Try and shake the tree a little, right? Try and shake out some paper hands, which is kind of what probably happened last week in the run-up prior, because, you know, the company's doing stuff. You can't just let it be suppressed forever. You're going to keep just drawing in investment. And then if the price goes high, right, the price goes high, then they risk margin calls, being deeper in the red, heavily, what are you going to short it more? And it's just, they're in a pickle. If they let it go too high, it could get disastrous in terms of margin calls and the unraveling of the short interest. If you go too low, you risk people like me to just keep buying more and more and more and averaging down at such a low cost and then transferring to Computershare, and then that's less and less shares available to short and closer to the entire float being registered, which, let me be very clear, we don't know what happens when the float is registered. This has never, ever happened before. It is truly uncharted waters. But imagine every single share that's supposed to exist is owned by either an insider or a Computershare shareholder. What about all the institutional shares? What about all the other shares in the other brokerage accounts? What happens to those? Are those fake? Nobody knows. I mean, that's the bizarre part about this whole thing, right? And I'm just excited to be a part of this journey. And I just like the stock. I just like the stock. I really believe in the company. I believe Ryan Cohen, since day one, has had a plan to ignite the mother of all short squeezes, because he bought in when there was over 100% short interest. And he's a very, very intelligent man. We know this from his time at Chewy. If you do any kind of research on him, I think he's just excellent. He's one of the greatest businessmen of our generation. I'll just say it now. I mean, it's kind of early to say that, but I think he's up and coming, and he could be the next, I don't want to say Elon Musk, but I mean, Elon Musk in the sense where he's so looked up to and so well respected in the business world. If he really does pull this off with GameStop, I think he'll be at that level with Elon Musk, where when he talks, people listen, right? You already have people like me, and if you're watching this video, you probably listen to what he says as well, but not as many people listen to Ryan Cohen as they do Elon Musk. But again, I'm not trying to make a comparison. I'm trying to just make a general viewpoint here. But it's just going to be endless nonsense, guys. We know what they're doing. We know what the shorting hedge funds are doing. It's literally manipulation in plain sight at this point. Like, I could go on and on watching them in previous videos. It's like, I know I'm holding literally winning lottery tickets. I just can't cash them in yet. I just can't cash them in. And even if I have to wait another year, 2 years, there are lottery tickets that are winners. I'm okay with holding them. Again, just my personal thoughts and opinions, but